Hello again, it's Maurizio and here's the second episode of our Series Editor tutorial series. In this episode I'll teach you all about how to import your own custom textures and models into the game, so that you don't have to solely rely on Croteam assets to make your mods. Before we begin, there are two programs that are a must-have in order to import custom textures and models into your game. The first one is GIMP. GIMP is a program similar to Photoshop that we will need to export our texture to a format the game can use. The second is Blender, which we will also use to export 3D objects into a game-ready environment, but it must be a specific version, namely version 2.61, found here. The reason for this is that we require a plugin, and that plugin only works with this version. This plugin is made by Cristo, and a link to it will be down in the description, along with all the other programs that I just listed. First, let's discuss textures. Importing a custom texture to use in game is relatively simple. Here we are in GIMP. Let's say I'm going to use this texture I made and put it in my world. So just go to File and then Export As, and now save the texture to the .tga format. When that's done, let's go back into the editor. We must now use a feature in the editor to make it ready for use. Go in the top here to Texture and then Create Texture. Now navigate to where you saved your texture. Here it is. And after double clicking it, just click Create Texture here. And there you go. We now have a .text file that we can use to put somewhere in the world. Let's enter the mesh editor and select this polygon. Press Ctrl-Shift-G to make a new polygon map. Give it any name, very creative name. Give it a new shader just like we did in the first tutorial. Then navigate to where you saved your original texture. Give it a UV map, and there you go. Let's test that. You can now enjoy your texture in all its glory. We will now use Blender to import a custom 3D model into the game. A good place to find 3D free models is this site called tf3dm.com. This site has a lot of 3D models of good quality that you don't need to pay anything for. Let's go ahead and look for a 3D model of a bench here, but you can look up anything you want. Alright, this one looks good. Let's go ahead and download it. It should be mentioned that it needs a specific file format. I usually use the OBJ file format, but you can use any file format that Blender supports. Once you have downloaded the RAR file, use a program like 7-zip or WinRAR to extract it, like I've done here. Now let's go into Blender, which I've already opened here. Make sure that before you continue, you have installed the plugin the way it was described in the forum post that I pasted in the video description. So now go to File, Import, and then Wavefront OBJ, and then navigate to where you saved the OBJ file. Again, it does not need to be this specific format as long as Blender supports the format. And there's our bench. So now we don't actually need to change anything with this bench model. We just need to export it. Series Editor 3 ASCII. This is the plugin that you hopefully already configured by now. And save it somewhere to... just save it at the same spot where the other files are. Give it a good name. Bench. And then export, and there we go. So now we're actually gonna put this bench model into the game. Use insert to spawn a simple model entity like you did in the first episode, and now click import mesh here in the command tab, and then navigate to where you saved your AMF file. Here it is, and it's a little bugged, but little big, but that's fine, we can fix that, just rotate it around a bit, like so. Change the stretch value. Oh my god, that is one big mess. Put it here. Alright. By the way, when you see me jumping to the current polygon selection, that is me pressing the A button. Just pro tip there. Now sometimes this model might not come out as you hope it to. Sometimes when you exit Mesh Editor and go into World Editor, the model simply isn't there. But there's a fix for everything. When this happens, it means your model has no polygon maps, so create a new one, name it default, give it a standard shader. We're gonna texture it soon, by the way. There, now it shows up. Now, using the same method of creating textures that I described earlier, we're gonna put the diffuse map here into the editor. So, file again, export again, and then .tga, export, go back to the editor, texture, navigate to where you saved the texture, create it, go into layer, select the texture from here, give it the UV map, and that is it. Then you have now put your very own bench into the game. Beautiful. So that is it for this episode. I hope you now understand how to put checkerboards and benches into your game. Hopefully you can expand that knowledge to put giant 3D models and awesome textures into your maps. And I'll hope to see you on the next episode, where we'll be covering a new subject, which will be next week. So thanks for your attention.